All right, well, let's get started then. So, and I think I mentioned before, if you haven't signed up for the alert system in Blackboard, I recommend you do that, because especially if you're taking other classes, right? Especially like anything in the morning or anything, the alert system in Blackboard would tell you if we're going to be closed. It'll send you a text or whatever if you sign up for it. So when you first log into Blackboard, there should be a message sometimes that you'll see that says early warning system or something like that. Like if the campus goes on lockdown or something, you get a text saying the campus is on lockdown or something like that. Yeah, that's why they instituted, because all this other campus violence all over the country is really what it did. But they also put stuff in there like if you have, like if we're going to cancel class and stuff like that. So, probably won't cancel this class this week. Probably not even Monday, because it's going to be warm Sunday. We don't get out of class. Or like. All right. If you don't sign up for that, WRL is the next best place, or the CCCC website. So, all right, let's pick up where we left off last week. It's been a whole week since we've been together. You missed me, didn't you? Yes, yes, you missed me. It's quite as bad, right? Okay. So, last week we were talking about significant figures. So let's see if we can pick up where we were. Let's do it like this. So, anybody want to tell me how many significant figures are in this first number? 1. There's no decimal there, right? So we're going to mark these zeros out until we come to something that's not a zero, and everything that's left is significant. What about the second number? 4. Now there is a decimal, so we start from the left. So there's 1 sig fig. Here are 4 sig figs. Okay. What about the third one? Who said it? 3. Start over here again, because there's a decimal. Everything that's less significant, so 3 sig figs. And yesterday in lab, lots of people were going, well, who cares? What difference does it make? Yada, yada, yada. Well, what's the difference here? This number says somebody made a measurement right here, and this number says somebody made a measurement in this place. Who was more precise? The one on top or the one in the middle there? The one in the middle is way more precise than the one on top, right? And by writing it that way, it tells you that, okay? So the way you write it is going to tell somebody how you made the measurement and how precise you were, how careful you were in making your measurement. Fair enough? So, students often say, does this ever matter? Does it matter? Yes, it matters, okay? It matters when you go to do things like dosages. Just give them about 5 grams. Is that how doctors write orders? No, they write orders. Give them exactly 5 grams. Or, that patient weighs about 200 pounds. That's close enough. Just go there and give them something. No, what do? You weigh them. And why do you weigh them? So you can calculate dosages and stuff, right? It's important, isn't it? Okay. So, these things all matter, okay? Now, we're going to spend most of our time today talking about calculations and what it does to significant figures, okay? Now, somebody in the other class just asked me, is what you just did on the board, is that like the same as they do in the book? It's pretty much the same, okay? I just like to go away from the slides because I like to do way more examples, okay? So, this is how you determine how many sig figs you have. Now, what about when you do calculations with sig figs? We're going to break problems into 2 sets of problems. The first one is when you multiply or divide, the rules are the same. You report the number of sig figs as measured number with the least. What does that mean? Okay, well, watch. If I have 10.00 times 2, what's the answer? 20. Is that the answer? Well, let's see. How many sig figs do I have up here in the 10?
4.
There are 4 sig figs here. And how many sig figs here? Just 1 sig fig. So how many do I need to have in my answer?
1.
1 sig fig. Do I have 1? Yes, there is 1. Okay? What's different? How can I change that? Well, what if I had 10.00 times 2.0? What's the answer now? What's 10 times 2? 20. How many sig figs do I need to have in my answer?
2.
There are how many here?
4.
4 here. And how many here? 2. So I have to have 2 down here. So I need to have 2 because 2 is less than 4, right? How am I going to get 2 out of 20?
Just add 0.
I can add a 0?
No, just a decimal.
Just add a decimal, right? Like that. That makes that 0 significant, doesn't it? No? All right, let's back up for Mac. Where you at, Mac? Do you understand that there's 4 sig figs here?
Sure.
And that there's 2 here? So because 2 is less than 4, I can only report 2 sig figs in my answer. Because I'm multiplying or dividing. Okay? So the answer is 20. If you put this in your calculator, it'll give you 20. But there's a difference between writing 20 like this with no decimal, where there's only 1 sig fig, and writing it like this, where there's 2 sig figs. Do you agree? Do you agree with that?
Sure.
You're not sounding convinced. Well, can we do any better than that? Well, this person measured the 2 decimal places. What if we'd have measured 10.00 and this person had measured the 2 decimal places as well? The answer's still 20, isn't it? 0.0. 4, 3. 3 is less than 4, right? So we have to have 3 in our answer. Fair enough? So it has to be 20.0. Why do we do this? Well, because this person or this measurement was very precise, but this one was just like, yeah, it's about 2. Because this measurement was sloppy or not very precise, our answer can't be very precise, is what it's saying. Fair enough? That makes sense, right? Why would you bother to make one precise measurement and one kind of half-cocked measurement? You don't, do you? You would prefer to do things like this, wouldn't you? Okay? So we have to report the answer with the right number of sig figs. Fair enough? Okay? Well, I want y'all to get through a problem then. Nah, I won't do that to you yet. So let's see. What did I do with the other class? I did 15 times 6. What's the answer? What's the answer?
90.
90. Actually, I don't think I did it times 6, but it works. I'll do 6. Let's do 5. 15 times 5. 5 carry 2, 75. Right? Is that the right answer?
No.
What's wrong with that answer?
Too many six.
When you put it in your calculator, that's what it gives you, isn't it? Right? But it doesn't have the right number of sig figs in it, does it? So, 2 sig figs, 1 sig fig. That means we can only have 1 down here. So what do we do with this answer right here? We have to round it off. So we're going to round it off to 8. Okay? Does that make sense? When it's 5 or greater, you round up, right? 4 or less, it goes down. All right. Well, let's do another one then. What about 16 times 5? Is that 0? Carry 3? That's 8. Is that the right answer?
Yes.
Wait a minute. 15 times 5 and 16 times 5 are the same thing? Yes. Sounds like Common Core math or something, doesn't it? It is the same thing. Why? Why is it limited to being the same thing? Because this number right here only has 1 sig fig. If we had it done, if we change this and do 15 times 5.0, it becomes 75, doesn't it? And 16 times 5.0 becomes 80 with the decimal place. Doesn't it? Because this number was not very precise, I can't tell the difference here. But now when we make precise measurements, we can see that 15 times 5 and 16 times 5 are 2 different things.
Would that be the case too when you're plugging in answers into the online question, that they'll count you wrong?
When you get to chapter 2, if you don't use the right number of sig figs, it'll tell you. Some of the problems are sig fig problems. And if you don't get it right, it just tells you that it's wrong. As we go forward in mastering, it'll give you this really annoying message that says, not quite. Check the number of sig figs, right? You've seen it before, like when you took 151. Yeah. So when it says that, you know that you have the wrong number of sig figs there. Okay? Y'all ready for a harder one? What about this? What if I do 25 times 4 versus 25 times 4.0? What's the answer? What's 25 times 4? 100, isn't it? Okay. Both of them are the same, aren't they? One answer is right, one answer is wrong. Which answer is right?
The first one.
Who says that this one's right? Who says this one's right? Why is this one right? Because it has 1 sig fig in it, doesn't it? Very good. 2 sig figs, 1 sig fig, the answer can only have 1.
Okay, yeah, you answered my question. So when we do multiplication, we can't go past 3 sig figs.
Oh yeah, you can go up as many as you have. We'll do one in a minute.
Okay, but our answer needs to have,
The right number of sig figs based upon your calculation.
so if we have 3 up there, we need to have 3 at the bottom too?
Yeah, so if you had 3 and 3, you would have 3 in your final answer. We'll do one with bigger numbers in a minute.
Okay.
Okay? All right, what's wrong with this answer?
Because it only has one.
2, 2, 1.